Hey friends, I'm Dr. Tracy. Welcome to Kingdom Recovery just for today. Today I want to talk about the word freedom. Freedom. What is freedom? I started meditating on that word because, when we're in recovery, we're trying to get free from something. We're trying to get free from pains. We're trying to get free from sorrow. We're trying to get free from a heavy blow to our life. We're trying to get free from drugs and alcohol. We're trying. But I want to give you some good news today. It's already paid for. Your freedom's already paid for. I live in America, and some of you might be watching this from another country. I live in America, and America has so much freedom. I've been to other countries of the world. I've been to India. I've been to Pakistan. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Africa. I've been to the Bahamas. I've been to Panama, Costa Rica. I've been a lot of different places in the world, bringing the good news of Jesus Christ and helping set captives free and bring deliverance. And it's an exciting thing that God's allowed me to do. But I've seen people who have very little freedom. And then I've seen a country transform from one place to another and come. But freedom in America has been here for over 200 years. So you don't sometimes recognize what you have unless you go somewhere else and you have a world view. But one of the most amazing things we have in this country is we have so many opportunities. One of the greatest freedoms we have is opportunity. Why do people want to come to our country? Because they want opportunity. They want the freedom to choose not to just live in a village the rest of their life, or not to just live dirt poor, or to have to bathe, wash their clothes, and cook off the same water out of the pond around them. They want to have opportunity of business and education and so many different freedoms we have. And yet we take them for granted. We take them for granted because we don't really understand the price of freedom. And I'm talking about that in Kingdom Recovery today because there is a price for freedom. Freedom costs something. I'm not going to get into the politics of our day, and I'm not going to get into what our president should and shouldn't be doing, because you know what? I don't want to stand in his shoes, and I don't want to make those decisions. And all I know is my Kingdom Recovery is that I'm to pray for all those that are in leadership and all those who are in authority in governing positions, because God set them there. So whether you think man set anybody anywhere, God did it. And he did it for a reason and for a purpose. That's all part of his eternal plan and purposes. So I'm not getting into politics, but I want to talk about freedom. Somebody fought for your freedom. In America, somebody really fought for our freedom. I've met a lot of people. I work with refugees a lot too, and don't get to do it near as much as I will one day. But I work with a lot of refugees from other countries, and I think about a young man that I met who was from the Congo. And this Congolese guy was telling me how he sat in a refugee camp for 12 years of his life, hoping to get out of that place. And when he came to America, he was appalled at the lack of gratitude for freedom. But after he was here for a while, he started taking it for granted too. See, what happens in recovery is oftentimes we forget the price, and we forget the fight and the struggle. And when we get clean for a little while and we get to that place where things are going good, we forget that freedom has a price, and we quit working it. So here's what I want to say about that, and hopefully I can get this out quickly today. In America, wars were fought. Battles are won. People are going to Afghanistan, different areas of the world right now, fighting for our freedom. There are over probably 90 world wars going on. Us Americans, we're so closed-minded to think it's all about us. It's not about us. There are world wars going on around the world. Probably 90 nations are at war right now. We're just not involved in all of them. We're involved in the ones that serve us. Yeah, that's the truth. But anyway, we're fighting for our freedom. So our freedoms were fought for. Our freedoms, people died for our freedom. People sacrificed their whole life to serve to keep America free. And guess what? This is important. People are still serving in America to keep us free, to keep our nations, our borders free from our enemies. Now, we haven't suffered war in so many years and in so many generations that we take that lightly, because we don't think deep enough about what it costs to give us the opportunity to work and have free enterprise and to have education, free education. I remember when I first started going to Ghana, West Africa, and people would ask me for $35 a month to send their child to school, because they make $1 a day and they had to pay $35 a month. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up, does it? For their child to go to school. And now education is free there, but it took years and years of people protesting, people speaking out. It takes people speaking out. And so freedom has to be fought for. You have to fight for your freedom. If you have to understand something that I don't want you to ever forget. Jesus already fought for your freedom in recovery, for your deliverance from drugs, from your deliverance from captivity of any kind, from your deliverance from poverty, from your deliverance from shame. It tells us in the Word of God, the big book of recovery, that Christ already paid for all of it. He carried our sorrow, He carried our sickness, He carried our poverty, He carried our shame, He carried our sin, He carried it all to the cross. And what He did at the cross is for you. It's for everybody. Freedom was paid for. So when soldiers went to war for American people, they fought for the freedom, not just for themselves, but for everybody. So every day you fight in your recovery, you're not just fighting for yourself. You are showing other people who are trying to recover that there is a way, there is a place, there is recovery available. Every day you choose not to pick up that drug. Every day you choose not to lay in that bed. Every day you choose to get up, go to your therapy. Every day you get up and go to work and make money to get yourself out of your hole. Every day you turn off the internet and don't give in to pornography. Every day you choose those choices. You are fighting for the freedom, not only of yourself, but you're fighting for the freedom of others. There are still military forces holding and keeping America's freedom every single day. You don't see them, but they're doing it. I want to shout out to a soldier in recovery. Her name is Destiny G. She's a soldier in recovery. She understands the principle that I've seen very few understand unless there's something in it for you. And I'm going to speak to it today. Why somebody got to pay you to free others when somebody gave you freedom? Someone helped you get your freedom and you had to pay a little bit. You had to invest a little bit into your recovery. But why does somebody have to pay you in order for you to help somebody else? You see, people that are out there on the front lines right now are giving up their lives to save our country from war. They're giving up their lives. I can't even remember the count of people that gave up their lives in Afghanistan last week. Whether we think it's right that they gave up their lives or not, they made a choice to enter into the armed forces and to do whatever their commanding officers told them to do. We have a commanding officer. His name is Jesus Christ. He's the captain of the host. And he commanded me 14 years ago to help and begin to be a voice in recovery. Now, I've had a lot of people judge me and tell me I'm not qualified. But you know what? Who God qualifies and equips and calls, God qualified me. God called me. Because He knew I wouldn't take advantage of you, those people out there that are in recovery. He knew I wouldn't abuse you. He knew I wouldn't mistreat you. He knew I would favor you. He knew I would accept you. He knew I would embrace you. He knew I would help you. Man, I'm running out of time. I can't believe my time is running out. But freedom costs something. You got to fight for your freedom. You gotta really not fight for it, because we're not fighting for our freedom in America anymore. We're occupying. We're occupying and we're remaining free. So Christ already set you free. If you'll come to him and you'll surrender and say, God, I can't do this without you, and I'll follow whatever plan you have for me to get this. And if that means I got to go by way of jail, I got to go by way of treatment, I got to go by way of transition programs, I've got to go by way of detox, I've got to go by way of going to meetings every day, whatever it takes, I got to go by way of reading my Bible and staying in prayer and going to Celebrate Recovery, whatever it takes, God, I'm willing to go and take the course. I'm going to occupy my freedom. And I'm going to talk about that more in another video. Maybe I'll talk on the same topic tomorrow. But freedom's going to cost you something. I just want you to meditate on that. What does freedom cost? And who fought for your freedom? Because I want some of you out there to know something. I'm fighting for your freedom. I've given up 14 years of my life to fight for you to be free. And there's nothing that grieves me more than a person that I've helped get free, and I've given them an opportunity in a safe place to learn how to live this life. And 3 months after they leave my barracks, or where they leave my infantry and they go off and they should be trained and they should be ready to do battle on their own, and they're picking up the crack pipe, or they're meth pipe, or they're buying a pill, or they're getting a drink. Well, just is one drink. No. You have to occupy your freedom for the rest of your life. I fought hard for you. I've given up salary. I could do any career I want to do. I really could. God's trained me and he's made me. And there's a lot of other things I could do. I could be driving Uber and making $1,000 a month. But no, I have sacrificed myself for you to be free for 14 years of my life. And some days I don't want to do that because of the ingratitude, because of the lack of those I've trained, those I've helped set free, going back and like a dog returning to their vomit. Don't do that to people like us out here that are fighting. There are people that are fighting for your freedom in America. Don't do the injustice of disrespecting those soldiers, disrespecting those military, and stomping on the freedom that America has given you. Well, the same way in your recovery. Don't stomp on the people that have helped you. Don't betray them. Don't backbite them. Don't take advantage of them, because they have laid down their life for your freedom. And don't do that to your highest power, Jesus Christ, because he laid down his life that you might be free. The best thing you can do is embrace the process and get your freedom. My time's up. It's Kingdom Recovery just for today. Freedom is going to cost somebody something.